Hey guys, it's Michael Todd, and welcome to The.Cult.Of.Vintage. Today, you guys, we are in downtown Urbana, or as the locals like to say, Urbana. Irregardless or regardless of how you like to say the name, we are at an awesome shop. It is a small local business. It's called the Vintage Travler. I've been here before a couple of times actually, and I'm going to share this amazing tiny secret with you. She's got some awesome stuff, you guys. Let's get inside and check it out. Richard is with us too today. Alrighty, guys, here is the exterior. Like I said, it's not the biggest store, but as we have found, size doesn't really necessarily matter. um, let's get in here. Let's check it out. Here we go, guys. Alrighty, guys, let's get in here and do this. I am so excited to be able to finally show you the Vintage Traveler. Great small business. You guys, Tina has got some quick turnover. She is constantly mixing things up. So, again, even though it's a small store, she really puts forth the time and the effort. Every week, it's like you're coming into a new store. These pardon me, cast iron Griffin candlesticks are absolutely amazing. Do you see that beautiful marble lamp? You're going to find some very high-end items in here. You've got large wall art, there's furniture, there are smalls, there is kitsch, there is primitive, there's early Americana. I'm telling you, it's just a wide variety. It is a true vintage and antique store. And there are a few modern decor items sprinkled in just to kind of flesh it out. Look at this Victorian era overcoat here for a lady. Absolutely beautiful. Very excited, obviously, getting ready for the Christmas season here. Just want to give you a quick overview. Now, up here to the front, we do have a collection of mid century glass. You know, we're a fan. I know a lot of you out there are fans. And guess what? The prices are really good on these. We do spot a couple of vases right away. The first one is the Kanawa, the Moon and Stars. It's a swung vase. This is not the Ellie Smith. It's priced at only $30. I had initially decided no, I wasn't going to get it. And I did spot this Ellie Smith down here, a little amber uh, Viking. Yeah, amber Viking. Amber swung vase. I don't know what's wrong with me here today. Richard wasn't overly impressed with the mouth. It wasn't dramatic enough, and I kind of agree with that. Beautiful Empoli style here. These are a really unusual shape. $38. I think that's a pretty gosh darn good collector's price. Just not where I need it to be for resale, but definitely a bargain. Spotted what I believe is Blanco, little bookend, the frosted puppy here. Gorgeous art glass here and an amberina with a crackle glass effect to it. I am going to put that one back. I just don't see the practicality in that one. I'm surprised I'm not going for that blue Empoli snifter right there. Another little green Ellie Smith vase here. Really good prices. But I held off. The green and the amber don't do as well. Even during the fall months, I found that the rarer colors, obviously blue, amethyst, the red, the oranges, those typically are going to get you the higher prices. Now, I did go back to this Kanawa swung vase here. I'm really glad that I got this. This thing I got for 30, it sold for 101. It does fluoresce and it is a beautiful color. I mean, it is so warm and electric. Great little metal vase that we have here. Imagine this in a Victorian home in an entry with a huge floral display, kind of like the one Richard's got. Now, he did find a gorgeous Fenton colonial green pedestal swung vase here. I did decide to go ahead and pick this one up. It was only $40. It had some good height on it. The amber, or pardon me, the green isn't, especially this colonial green, isn't the biggest seller, but I loved the eye-catching detail to it. Talking about eye-catching, we did get a piece of Vaseline glass here. It is crafted from another piece, so the edges were sanded down and repurposed into a pendant, and it does, of course, fluoresce. We do have quite a few jewelry caskets up here. I'm loving the larger one. It's just out of my reseller budget, which was sad. Loving the little pot metal and the silver tone, $30 fair price. Typically, you're going to see them in that brass or gold tone to them, a lot of gilding. That price tag was for the clock, not the Flemish box here. This is a pyrography, or more commonly referred to as Flemish. It is wood burning. Um, yeah, 125 for the mantle clock. Not a bad price for the clock, but a little heavy for me to want to really be able to ship. Now we do see that there is a repair to the pins. However, the top of the lining is still there, which is quite nice. Obviously, it's a glove box, but no price. And you know what? The great pattern really wasn't overly wowing me. A lot of the figural ones are going to be what really sells the piece. We do, of course, have some advertising tins. There's a lot of books throughout. We've got a lot of brass also. And then this little tiger, he did catch my eye. This is carved water buffalo horn in the shape of a tiger. It's super mid century. He was only $12. I really liked it. I think it's a unique piece. His eyes, his teeth are still intact. So that definitely sold me on this piece. So we ended up getting him. Now, Richard did point these out, kind of like these little Indian embroidered balls here. They were squishy, which kind of surprised me. They're really interesting. I think they could be vintage, though they might be a little bit more contemporary. Good price on those, just not what I was really looking for. Little figurine here, but he was made in China, so I said no. Some other cute littles there. Richard, we're taking him to the dark side, and he's starting to spot kitsch. We do have a cute little bank here. He's priced at $15, which is actually really good price, but it was a little close on the margins for me to get for resale. I did spot this large bass. I think he's a no, actually, I think he's a rainbow trout. Little fish planter here, really cute. But yeah, there was a chip on him in the paint specifically. It wasn't like a deep gouge or anything, but I decided to leave him behind. I have seen this is actually a vintage razor made to look like, well, it is based off of an antique frog razor, believe it or not. It is not an antique, but it is vintage. Still really cool item to see. A little grandma's brag book here, and I wanted to check out the brags, but she didn't have any. Sick burn. Um, we have a can and bottle opener here. This was really cute and clever, only $12 in its original acrylic packaging. She's cute. I wasn't overly wowed by her. I think it's a fun little item, especially if you have a bar set up or kind of like a man cave, very mantique there, including the little roadster coming at you. Switching it up, we do, of course, have a little bit of Pyrex here with the castle. Loving the medallion uh, lid to it. The fact that the paint is still on there is a small miracle. We do have some little fridgies here. The snowflake at 65 for the collection. Just not where I need it to be. Little barware set up here. Loving that red, especially with those decanters there. Quite nice. Great contrast with the clear and the red and gold detailing. So again, you're just seeing a wide variety of items, which this is what's going to bring people in. You know, I said in a previous video about how a lot of newer or more modern items are creeping in. Not here, folks, including like the very gothic pulpit. Look at these candlesticks. Oh, the labras. We've got a little communion set here too. Quite amazing. I was kind of curious about getting it, but I decided not to. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, great eye. Of course, we've got some glove displays there. I was finding those glove displays all over this trip. I don't know what was going on. Got a little bit more of a feminine pulled together here with the whites, the silvers, some splashes of pinks there. Loving the incorporation of the jade. I think those colors are quite striking together. Now, Richard did find this root beer glass. It's what I loosely call it. It is a tiffin. It's in the beg pardon, my goodness, tiara in a zipper pattern. It's a good collector's price. Want to get a good look at that color. It's not your typical amber. It is a very deep, dark molasses. Now, we did see these pink depression little sugar and creamer set here. I think they're absolutely adorable. I love it with the little serving set. I don't see it as an overly practical decor piece, so I did leave that one behind. Up next, we are seeing some absolutely beautiful blue opalescent. This is Dagenhart. It's a small little candy dish. It's not like some huge wow item, but that color is quite striking. I think it's very eye-catching and at only $12. I thought, heck yeah, let's go ahead and get that, especially because there's no condition issues. Now, these are actually, I believe it is Indiana glass. This is the Heritage Collection. They did a number of repressings of an original antique Depression era pattern. However, they incorporated more mid-century colors into them. That turquoise is just one example. Got a lot of stuff here waiting to come out onto the floor. I was being nosy. I was snooping around, and the buck was watching me. Of course, we do have a little section here of planters. We've got some Royal Copley's. That chick creamer is quite common. I see him quite a bit, and also in the pink. This little guy is adorable, the little made in Japan. He's only $10. I've really started to kind of stray away from those pieces. I don't think that the demand is there, but I think at $10, that's a great deal. Richard did find a Courier and Ives bound book there. He's flipping through. We'll get that here on camera in just a second. Loving these images throughout. Now, this is a black and white, so we're unfortunately not seeing the color plates in these. If you're not familiar, Courier and Ives actually was one of the first employers of women. So, oh, there's a color plate that we saw. These caught my eye. It's this very earthenware, very crude, almost concrete molded jardiniers, if you will. I love them. Richard thinks that they're probably newer, which is okay. I think the aesthetic is really strong on those. Those things were a brick. $35 for this set, definitely a good get. A beautiful decor piece, but the weight on those, there's no way I'd be able to ship. Well, I mean, I could ship them, but you'd pay an arm and a leg. Love this little cleoche here. Those colors in there are quite beautiful. Tina has had this set up now for a while. I love those little chalkware dolls inside of the birdcage. I think there's just something very charming about it, especially offset with that turquoise and pink uh, jardiniere there. Great little book collection that we've got going on. Again, just a wide variety of items. That green hutch is an absolutely, look at that patina. That's so good. Love it. Putting in the blue, that was quite striking. We are towards the back of the store here. There is some Lennox, checking out the Lennox. Again, getting ready for Christmas. Got some more books over here. Always want to check out the books. Of course, subject matter is always going to be what sells a book. Pavilion of Women. That actually could have been interesting. I probably should have looked at that one a little bit closer. You see that hair curler there? Don't really see anything there. Again, it's an amazing use of the space. It is a small store, but wow, there's just so much to look through. Now, I had seen these here before, this little Philistine. They're like these little pamphlets, 1898 to 1909. They would put them out, as they said, every so often. You are getting a collection of four for $8. I did decide to go ahead and pick these up. There's some really interesting sayings and poems and verse in those, so quite cool to get those. Love the antique ephemera. This lady is quite proud. Yes, she is. It's a little chalkware piece here. Done very well. The colors are still nice and vibrant. Didn't really see any condition issues. Subject matter, I wasn't overly sold on. The whole Western theme, very limited market. So I do decide to go ahead and leave that one behind. At $25, I think it's a great price, especially because it is, while it's Western, I think it's interesting subject matter. It's not something that you necessarily see too often as the ladies on the horseback. So cool to see. Oh, look at that. Little Fitz and Floyd pigs. Now, I thought these guys were salt and pepper shakers. $8 for this set. They both have their original paper label on them. These were made in Japan, so they're a little bit more vintage than the other ones. I mean, how can you go wrong with white pigs and yellow tutus doing all kind of uh, ballet poses? Definitely a good get at $8. Moving on here, we've got some more of like the early Americana here. I spotted that book. Mm, no, that pink enamel. That would have been an amazing get if the condition were a little bit better. But hey, some people go for that rusty, crusty, and dusty. Yes, they do. Now back here towards the back of this door, we are spotting some more books. Those books were turned into a lamp, interestingly enough. Got a little Chinese checker set here. We do have a collection of milk glass back here. It is a narrow hallway, so it's a little bit more difficult to film. Trying to look here to see, never turn your nose up at the milk glass. I do see this compote here. It looks like it's Westmoreland, though it could be Imperial. I don't know. That twisted lacy bottom is pretty common to both. Let's see here. What do we got on it? Westmoreland. Yeah. It's just not where we needed it to be for our resale, but I really like that. It's just an unusual piece. So again, just because it's milk glass doesn't mean that they're valueless. You just want to look for the unique things. Love those brass ram bookends there. It can be done. It can be done. Sure can. Where there's a will, there's a way, as they say. Alrighty, guys. Up next is Tina's little shop mascot. Poor lady. Her head's rolling around there somewhere. We did find it later on. But don't worry, she's just waiting to be repaired. We're actually now up back towards the front of the store. We've got a great little autumnal display here. Loving the use of the greens and the ambers, especially against kind of like those woods, those very natural woods. And then again, we jump right over into colonial or early Americana. So it just really speaks volumes. We've got, of course, the jugs there, a little moonshine. Some great earthenware here. The cream glazes, simple, classic, never going to go out of style. It goes in just about any decor. Of course, it's going to determine how you dress them up or what you would accessorize them with. Spotted a little painted milk glass hen on nest. She's cute, but, we're going to leave it. Got a little hutch over here with some interesting little ones put in through there. Didn't see anything that really caught my eye, but I just wanted to get everything on camera for you guys. It's our first time here, and because, again, it's a smaller store, it does make it easier to film. No, didn't spot anything there either. Over here, kind of like, again, giving me that primitive vibe. They were a little bit more sophisticated, I will say that, especially with the hand painting and the drip glazes on those. Don't really spot anything here. Now I do spot that PY shoe fly. That is a wall pocket that can also be set flat. I actually purchased one of those previously. This one's got a weird glaze slip to it right there on the handle. It's not a chip. It does read as a chip, but I promise you it's not. I decided to hold off on that one because I've, gone before. Now Tina did let us go down into the basement. I did not film because it was just too dark and it wouldn't come out that well. I did pull out this little lucite flower bunch here. I got the little Rubens girl planter. She's so adorable. Probably a 70s and 80s piece since it's marked Taiwan. Did get this, oh my gosh, isn't this gorgeous? This Yukago Boys Choir. Look at that red cold paint on there. There's no slipping, there's no crackling to it. That was an amazing get. Found a little dancing clown guy here. He does work. I'm keeping him. And of course, all of the Thanksgiving Day pics, but there is some snowmen mixed in there. So, guys, that is it. We're going to do a quick wrap up, or are we? Because I did find some other stuff. I found this little Stupsy doll here. Oh my gosh, she's absolutely adorable. She's fully clothed. She's got a wire armature throughout so you can bend her. That face is so sweet. That head of hair, I'm jealous. I thought she was so cute. I just couldn't. The face. It's the face on her. So I did pick her up too. We're going to add her to the pile. And I did find a carnival glass peacock pendant, which I thought was really cool. And that amethyst. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and add that to the pile. Now, the last item that I did find was this absolutely amazing hand turn. This is a local artisan. These have not been priced yet, so we're waiting on confirmation from the artisan what he would like to price them at. But look at that effect. I hope that you guys love it because I love it a lot. Richard did get a clear glass jar. So we're just going to wait on the price for the artisan on those, and then we'll pick them up next time we're there. So everything that we got, look at that. I done better here than I've done at some large antique malls. Well, guys, that's it. We're going to wrap it up outside. Alrighty, guys. Well, there you have today's video. I hope that you did enjoy it. I noted that I was recording in 4K, so hopefully the picture quality was very crisp for you. I think we found some amazing things. including the dancing clown. We'll probably close out the video officially with him. Thank you, FedEx. So amazing time. The contact information is going to be right down in the description of the video. Just remember, Tina is only open Friday, Saturday. Friday and Saturdays. So make sure if you're in the area, give her a call. Make sure she's open first. Stop in. You're not going to regret it. And on that note, you guys, until next time, remember, keep it rusty, crusty, and dusty.